Hey, once again, welcome back to the drinker.co.uk. I'm Pete Turner, and in this series of films, I'm giving you my wine recommendations from all of the UK supermarkets in the summer going into the autumn of 2023. In this film, these are my picks from Morrisons. You can see all of my picks listed on the drinker.co.uk, and you can also see my 1 minute wine reviews on TikTok. Go to @drinkersite. So these are from Morrisons. None of these wines ever cost more than £10 in these films. I've got two reds, two whites, a rosé and a fizz, and let's get cracking with this first one, which is Monsantvo Malbec. It's 12%, it's £6.25. Just says it comes from southwestern France. There's no sort of appellations, or doesn't say if it's the Languedoc, but it says southwestern France. And first thing I noticed, is really pale for a Malbec. It's quite pale. And the nose is much more what you would imagine to be red fruit than black fruit, the intense sort of black fruit cassis that you sometimes get with Malbec. It's light and fresh and lighter bodied than you would expect. It's got cherry, red and black cherry, some spice, some cedar, a little bit of raspberry and red currant in there, lifting it. It's not particularly complex, but it's £6.25. That's a really good sort of patio wine, fresh and light. 12%, you could drink that all day. It's a lovely party wine. Monsantvo Malbec. Okay, so next up, it is the best Carmenere. Comes from the Central Valley in Chile. It's 13.5% in alcohol and £8.25 a bottle. This comes from the best range at Morrisons. The Morrisons best range are pretty good right across the range, really well priced. Oh, and it's got a really sort of lovely, warm, earthy, kind of old leather nose to it, but also some cherry, black cherry and black currant. It's quite intense and spicy on the nose. Yeah, that savouriness carries on the palate. It's mouth-watering with acidity. It's fuller and richer than the Malbec. It's got some tobacco leaf about it, going towards sort of chocolate in intensity, but certainly a very dark black cherry, Morello cherry in there. So there you go. That's 8.25's worth. Really good stuff. 13.5% in the alcohol. So there we go. Super wine. Next up, this is again from the best range, the best. Muscadet, Sevre et Maine sur Lys. Sevre et Maine are the two rivers that it grows on in the Loire, leading into the Loire. And sur Lys means as the wine ages, the dead yeast cells drop to the bottom and they leave them in the barrel and they stir them up and it gives the wine some more body and some depth. So that's what you get from Muscadet, Sevre et Maine sur Lys. And yeah, it's beautiful, sort of a very light green apple. There's some sort of sherbet and lime to it. And I think Muscadet is the grapiest of all the grapes. And that grapiness is there, and green, fresh, ripe cooking apple is there. It's beautiful. There's a little bit of body and some complexity to it. It's not massively sort of overblown, but it's £8.75. Quite expensive for the ones I generally recommend on here, but I think as a classic wine, that's worth every penny. Super stuff. Okay, so we are now off to South Africa. A bit like the French one, this just says South Africa on it. Don't know what region of South Africa it is. This is Klein Street Sauvignon Blanc. I think that bottle looks great. It's £6, and it's Sauvignon Blanc, 100% Sauvignon Blanc. And, yeah, it's sort of got a lovely sort of warm tropical peachiness to it. There's some mango, possibly some lychee on the nose. Oh, it's fresh and dry and pretty and mouth-watering. That lychee becomes pineapple chunks and lime. Real hit of citrus. Really mouth-watering citrus to it. £6, that is a lot of wine for the money. I think it's a lovely looking bottle. I think it's a great party wine for the summer. Look that out, Klein Street Sauvignon Blanc. And next up, another classic wine from France, Touraine, Sauvignon Blanc. Again, on the Loire, going into the Atlantic. This is a blend of Cabernet Franc and Gamay. And it's got a lovely... Oh, what is that? It's red currant and sort of crushed raspberry. There's something else in there. What? It's not strawberry, there's something else there. It's quite intriguing nose. So it's £8 a bottle. It's fresh and light and delicate and elegant, and it's everything it should be plus plus. If you're bored of bog standard rosés, pay the extra couple of quid, £8 a bottle. There you go, Touraine, the best Touraine rosé. What a lovely, lovely wine. It's class in a glass. Love it. And last of all, I'm going out on a bit of a limb with this one. This is Castillo de Sierra, Cava semi-seco. Now, don't get afraid by the term semi-seco. It does mean it's going to be slightly sweet, sweeter than you're used to, because the fashion is so much for everything being very, very dry. Semi-seco wines are really worth looking at. Do not ignore them. It's £5.85 a bottle. And, you know, you can't smell sweetness, but this gives you the notion that there is going to be something sort of sweet in there. There's something sort of lime sherbety in the nose. And the bubbles are there, and they're very soft, and the sweetness is there, but it's matched by some really high acidity, so it's quite mouth-watering, really balanced and full. It's got some fruit to it. It got those sort of like the tang-fastic, limey sweet note to it. It's a beautiful wine. Do not pass up the semi-secos. That's a real smasher. So there you go, Castillo de Sierra. I had an uncle who owned a Sierra once. I have never had an uncle who owned a Castillo, but there we are. So there you go. Get yourself down to Morrisons for what a really interesting range. You see all my recommendations on thedrinker.co.uk, and you'll see my 1 minute wine reviews on TikTok. Give us a like, share and follow, and enjoy your wine. Cheers.